Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversations are pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Did you bring your thinking caps? Because it's time to put them on. Because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains, my peeps. We're back at the spot. We're the place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Today, we're doing it highbrow. We're in the Hamptons. Oh, yes, darling. New York. We are with Amber Kopcza. And Amber is a trauma-informed, let me see if I get this right, a trauma-informed coach. And she's into the health arena. But health is subjective. And what does health mean? Mental, spiritual, financial, relationship, your diet. What is it? It's a big $25 word. But that in combination with being informed about trauma, they go hand in hand. They create the perfect marriage. And so here we are with our facilitator today. Hello, Amber, and welcome to On the Edge.
First of all, April, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's so wonderful to be here with your community. So thank you so much for
the brains,
platform,
girl. You gotta call them brains.
Inviting
they
me
like
on.
that. They brains.
Brains. That's right.
Well, before we get started, let me get up on the Hamptons. Now, I live on the West Coast, so I've done Bel Air and Beverly Hills and Westwood. Newport Beach, all the persnickety places here. But girl, you live in the Hamptons. I heard that is quite nice. Tell me about that.
It's beautiful. It's originally, if you can imagine, a farm. It was all farmland out here. So you're surrounded by the ocean on one side and the bay on the other. So you have all of the elements. You have air, you have land, you have water, wood. So it's quite spiritual. And you have the element of Indians founding land. George Washington came in through Montauk. So it's very spiritual. There's a ton of nature. It's beautiful to be out in the nature, but I know what you're getting at. There is a lot of there's a lot of big celebrity factor here.
Yeah, there's a lot of opulence, but it's very secluded as well. That because of that nature,
it's very secluded. So there's one way. That's right. There's one way in and there's one way out, literally.
Right.
Like there's a highway that comes in and it goes out.
That's cool because you want your privacy. They don't get, like I said, I deal with celebrities all the time. And when they get just in their element around their tribe and they can be themselves, they are very, very happy people because they can't just go in the grocery store like we go. But I heard in the Hamptons, that it's like New York City. They just walk around and get their groceries and bike ride with their kids. It's very normal.
That's right. It is very normal because there's the Hamptons. There are many hamlets out here, and they were all sleeper towns, farmland. So you have your farms that are family orientated that have been in generations. So when you get out here, it's just they call it, you're in the country, and it's very down to earth. It's your farm, but it's the beach. You're at the beach. So it's very casual.
Because of that environment, I'm sure that it's easy for you to gravitate to healthy living, healthy eating, because you're immersed in that. But also, being in a place that's very secluded and quiet helps you and maybe your clients come to terms with trauma. Piece that together for us. Color in the white space on that.
So when you are out here in these elements, you are away from the hustle and the bustle of the city. So you come out here, you're able to breathe easily. You have the sea air. It's just a very chill kind of environment, or that's the way that it should be. So, you're able to engage in your practices, whether it's yoga, whether it's meditation. The environment is just conducive to that. And so when you go from take a look at your nervous system. If you're anyone that's in a high profile, it doesn't matter whether you're in a high profile job or not, but when you're in a very busy atmosphere that has a lot of things going on, it's very good to get away from that and just decompress. And that's one of the things that being out here allows. So that when you are in your practice, whether it's yoga, whether it's just even a walk, you're able to drop away from that hustle and bustle and the trauma, which is also stored in your body. So that's why when you're able to relax at night, or when you go to sleep, or if you take a bath or whatever, you have that deep sigh and the release. That's your body letting go.
Mm-hmm. People want to hold on, Amber. They don't want to let go.
And, yeah.
And I'm not saying that's everybody.
That's where sickness comes in.
But see, I let it go like a balloon on a string. I just tether it. You have to want it, you have to desire, and then you have to seek it out, because everyone can't quiet the monkey mind. They have a lot of trauma. They have a lot of emotional baggage. They have distractions. They've got their family. They've got the outside influences, their job. Just as an example, there's a lot of high-profile people with money in the Hamptons, but they're still struggling to try to keep it, because when the economy's messed up, it messes with everybody's money. It don't just mess with poor people's money, it messes with everybody's money. So there's always some drama back and forth. What do you tell your people that are in crisis right now? How do you just tell them to, this is the first 2 or 3 steps that you need to do to identify with this and work through it?
Don't care about what other people think. That's a tough one.
I ring my bell.
That's a tough one, because because it all goes back to validation, and it all goes back to your childhood. And that's a tough pill for people to swallow, because they don't recognize that. No one recognizes it, and no one talks about it. And when you store trauma from early childhood, and you don't know that, you don't know until you get older and you do the work, and it comes out either through sickness, or you have a major life event happen, and it blows you out of the cannon, and you start your journey to, get better, heal yourself. That's when it all comes about. But, going back to that self-validation, exactly what you said, what do you tell people? Stop worrying what other people think. And in today's society, that's almost impossible, because you are trying to keep up with Joneses. You are, it's social media, how many followers you have, what do you look like, what are you wearing, how skinny are you,
how many likes you get,
how many likes you get. And it's ridiculous, because you're asking for likes from people, you're asking for validation from people that you don't even know. Don't even know. You're asking for outside validation, someone to tell you that you're good enough, you're worthy enough, that you look good, and that somebody wants to spend time with you. What? Someone that doesn't even know you is directing your future, holding your time, holding your space, and directing your future. That's not cool. And it's all over the place, and people pay for it, right?
Girl, so in more ways than dollars and cents.
In one way, right. So I'm going to blow the lid off a little something here.
Oh boy.
So you talk about where I live, right? And it's all, like you're on the West Coast, so you're full of, I know I've been there many times. You can be in, Beverly Hills, wherever it is that you are, walking down the street, you turn a corner and there's someone important there putting money into for their car, right? In a parking space.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all the paparazzi. It's all staged. Outside validation. They're posers.
Right.
So it's the look, right? So here, you can be impressed by the cars, but you can rent a Maserati for $1,000 a day.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody looking at the person driving the Maserati, that looks cool, right? Outside validation, you're good, hitting all the keys, right? Makes the driver feel good. It's checking off all the boxes. It sends the message to someone else that that person has something that they want, right? They have the lifestyle, they have all of those things, but yet it could be rented.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
It's a facade.
So it's it's a facade. Yeah.
I tell people, I say,
but who cares?
But the first time people meet, and Brains, I tell you about me, okay? I don't have a hidden agenda. But the first time you meet Amber, the first time you meet April, baby, you are meeting my representative, okay? Because all of this is looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Got the hair done, the nails, the conversation. Mm-hmm. I know what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. But then when you pull back the layers of the onion and you see ponytail, no makeup, maybe tears, you see that person. You see the authentic person. Yeah. And everybody uses this big word, I want you to be transparent or authentic. The hell I do. Send your representative when you first meet me. Because I want to see how you put it together.
Isn't that what dating's all about?
Exactly. Now, you know that. They got the hair pieces in, got the eyelashes on and all this kind of stuff. But that's not the real true person. Mm-hmm. And, I want to dial back on one other thing you said. You talk about childhood trauma. There is not a person on this planet that has not experienced some sort of childhood trauma, be it from their parents, their siblings, their classmates. But what does not kill you makes you strong. And so you have to be able to do that.
That's right.
But I'm running across a situation, and oh God, I wish I could really tell you guys this, but I'm just going to try to glance over it. I know these beautiful young girls, and they live in a challenging situation on one side and then opulence on the other. Okay? And so for them to find a happy medium in their life is traumatic, because you want to show them the wonderful things in life, but then they have to go back to challenging circumstances. It's a delicate dance between the two. And now they become of age to where they are figuring out life for themselves. Is this a point in life when the childhood trauma really gets ingrained and starts to trigger? When parents, if they're aware and informed like you are and I am, is this a time to really engage and start asking those questions and helping them find themselves? Or do we just kind of let them go with the flow and ask the questions that need to be asked? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And that's a great question. And it's kind of twofold, because we've all seen, you could be in a supermarket, right? You can be standing in line, and right at eye level for the child is the candy, done on purpose, marketing. So the child can beg and beg and beg, Mommy, can I please, right? The mom says no, because candy's not good for you. And the child throws a fit. Now, there are several things that can happen. It's the child, the groceries can be left there. The child is brought out to the car, or, it's coddled and given the candy in order to make it, settle down, whatever the response is. So you're dealing with two instances. You're dealing with the parents' issues and how they learned to cope with that, and then the child's response. So you can have an abusive parent, but you never know what happened to the parent in order to make the parent be like that. An individual doesn't just wake up in the morning and says, okay, I'm going to abuse my child, or, I'm going to be an abusive parent or whatever. It's just, it goes back to that.
It's really generational, because the situation
Yes, it is.
that I'm thinking of, I can actually look at 1, 2, 3 generations prior to these young girls where the trauma has never been addressed or resolved. And now it is just perpetuating and escalating. So yeah, bingo, you hit it right on the head.
Yep. Yeah. And again, we're in a society that is basically, look at me and the Band-Aid. When I was growing up, if you were deemed hyperactive, you were put on medication. So, let's delve down the child, but let's not deal with the root cause. What's going on in the life? Is there divorce? Because there's divorce in my family. What's going on at home? Why is the child acting like this? What's the diet like? Tying in the whole nutrition thing. But there's more to it, and it's like you said, it's a discussion that needs to happen because it's so important. Because not only does it affect the individual that it's happening to, like the girls, right? But it happens within that family, their future relationships, and the relationships with the people that they currently have in their lives.
Exactly. And what they're doing is they're using the adults as the template for how they're going to act and react to situations. And, people will say, oh, she asked questions. Well, hell, that's the only way I'm going to get any information is if I ask you. I can't read your mind.
That's right.
I can read your reactions. That's why I ask questions.
Right.
I want to be, and that's what parents are not doing. They're not communicating with these little human beings. Oh, they're too young, or they don't know that, they never knew that we don't have, that we're having a divorce, or they don't know that we have money problems. Well, when you go to flick on the light switch, baby, and the lights don't come on, or when daddy hasn't been home in 2 or 3 weeks, or when, you got a black eye, these kids see all of this and they internalize it because they don't know how to verbalize it. And we don't give them an outlet.
That's right.
And it is
That's right.
It is so sad.
And there's no communication. It's very sad, and there's no communication, like you said. So if you take that situation where you said that, well, we never told them, because all of the kids nowadays, they're like this, right? Their head is buried there so that they don't have to speak. They don't have to learn how to spell because it's autocorrect. They don't even know how to have to learn how to sign their name, which is horrifying because that's creative, right? Mind, hand, creative brain. And so you have that, and then go buy a car today. What's in the back seat of the driver's side and the passenger side of the car? When you look at it, a screen. So these kids can't communicate. Their brains are shut off so that when they go out in the world as their future self, they don't know how to function. So bring a relationship into that.
Let me tell you what Generation X and Z are telling me. They love the TikTok because they can, and this is what they actually verbalize to me. They only can process bite sizes of information. They don't want this long text. They don't want to hear about, history.
That's what we've taught them.
They want just a little bit of information, a little bit of data to get them through. They don't care about all of this stuff. And so now that we are seeing that is the way that they communicate. Yes, I agree with you to a certain point where you say they can't do things, but also with this, we have to change because there are things that they can do. And maybe
Sure.
they have been oversaturated with a bunch of stuff. I know people that have as many degrees as a
Mhm.
thermometer and just as simple, bless their heart. They can't do anything because they're
Yeah.
over, they're
Mhm.
overachievers, or they're bookworms, but they have no practical life application. So we have to edit and filter. We have to adjust the way that we think, the way that we process information. Again, maybe we're overthinking stuff. Maybe you just need a snapshot, like a computer. You put in Google keywords, key letters, whatever, up pops the information you want. It's really different, and it's challenging. So when you're working with people that have been through a lot of trauma, um, what does this do
Mhm.
for you? How does this ignite your fire? Because it's got to be a win, and it's got to be a why. You're not doing it again just because you're extra cute and you live in the Hamptons. There's got to be an ROI. It's got to be something that makes you feel good. What lights you up?
Right.
What's your why?
Well, as a woman coming from an abusive relationship and abusive childhood, uh, it's rewarding in that I can see the patterns, and if you can get a person to acknowledge by educating them, by having them see that it's not their fault that they're in an abusive relationship, um, that they continually are going back in the same circle, repeating the same patterns, and that they can't, they're a victim, or they can't stand on their own, or they're living small, or they just get to that point but they just can't go any further. um, it's the ability to help someone free themselves so that they can blossom in their life, so that they can have this unbelievable happiness and live freely without being the victim or held hostage by a 6-year-old that's running their life from a program from their childhood.
Right, right. That's that inner child work. So that ignites you when you see
Yep.
the change and the development in other individuals. And then what do you do with that fire? How do you keep it burning within you? Because I'm telling you, when you're dealing with people, I don't even have to be a
Hmm.
trauma coach. Just dealing with girlfriends,
Hmm.
just suck the
Oh
air out
yeah.
of the room. Okay, trying to help them work through their issue,
Hmm.
trying to be supportive. It's the
Hmm.
heavy lifting, and it is exhausting. What do you do to free yourself?
Yes.
What do you do? Yoga? Do you have a great coach that you work with? Do you have a spiritual discipline? Do you like to paint? I know that you have nature and all that, but what else do you do to pour into your soul to keep you, excited and renewed and refreshed?
I have 2 dogs.
Mm.
And I spend a lot of time with them. I walk them in the morning and I walk them at night. Um, their joyful, playful self reminds me that life isn't so serious and that we shouldn't take it so seriously. I love going down to the ocean. I love doing yoga. Uh, I find journaling very freeing. Um, I find that spirit talks to me a lot through journaling. And of course, you know, I've had coaches, I have coaches, the groups that I'm in, spiritual groups, being part of different communities like yours. It's being around like-minded people.
I know.
It's very important. It's very important to stay
And you know
in
what
the
I do?
positive instead of the drama.
Yeah, I do my burn offerings. Okay, and some sage.
Oh yeah.
I get it. I try to get it out of
Yep.
here. I do, and I'm a listener. Sometimes I'm gonna. I have this on my life list. I don't call it a bucket list, but I am going to go to one of those retreats where you have to be silent.
Yes.
Some of my friends have been
Yes.
there, and they said that there's one place in upstate New York too. They say they come back and they are just so aware because they didn't always have
Hmm.
to, it wasn't a call and response. Because someone said something, you felt that you had an obligation to answer them instead of just listen to them, to listen to nature, to listen to your
Hmm.
own thoughts, to quiet the monkey mind and really hear what's rattling around in your brain. So that is one of the things that's on my bucket list, or life list, should I say. I really want to go to a silent retreat. Now, I don't know how it's going to work because I've been a chatterbox all my life, but I am a good listener. I am a good listener because sometimes I don't want to miss it. You know, sometimes you overtalk it and you miss key points.
Right.
What's on your life
Hmm.
list? What is something that you still want to do?
Travel.
To where? Where do you want to go?
I love to travel. Uh, I would actually like to travel by yacht around the world.
I guess so, from the Hamptons.
Hmm.
Well,
I've
you
been
know what?
fortunate
I
enough to
am.
go to
No, no, go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say I've been fortunate enough to go to several places. I've been on, and I totally encourage the retreats. That's one of my, if you want to do a reset, if you want to
Absolutely.
do that springboard and just, totally, yeah, do it. I always go back to the retreats.
Well, I hope
Always.
you
And it's
host one in the
always
Hamptons and invite me because I want to come. I will definitely come and see you.
magical. I will.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a business. I'm going to Italy. I'm taking the show to Italy,
I was going to say, you're going to Italy.
and I am so excited because that too. But there's another place I want to go that everyone's going to this year and they just love it. Iceland.
Yes. I have a
Everybody's
girlfriend
going
that
to
jumped the
Iceland.
cliffs in Iceland.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That's
she's
crazy.
72. Yeah.
Wow. If you were an appliance in
Yeah.
the kitchen, Amber, what appliance would you be?
Mm. I would be a gas range.
Woo. Why?
Yeah. Can control the fire.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people,
Can
I'd be
turn
the
it up, turn it
refrigerator.
down.
I'd be the, yeah, that's where you hold the water and the beer and the and the good stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I get
what are,
that. I
what
get
are
that.
three things that you absolutely cannot live without?
Uh, I'd say my girls, my dogs, laughter. Wow, definitely laughter and love. Hmm.
Okay. Girl, see, I need good sex. I need,
Oh, yeah, see?
yeah, yeah, girl, that, yes, because it's a stress reliever. I need,
Well, of course it is. Yeah.
yeah, I like loyalty. I want people to be loyal, whatever
Yeah.
capacity that is. You know, like the loyalty of a dog is
Yep.
relentless, but also the loyalty of a good listener to my podcast. And the third thing,
And truth.
and my third thing would be God. You know
Yep.
that that's definitely important. What do you want your legacy to be, Amber?
Mm. That I help people find themselves and free themselves.
All
Yeah.
right.
live a happy life.
I think that you've ticked a lot of the right boxes. You know, working with people in the health arena on all levels of health, helping them reduce their trauma, having a good conversation, being in a beautiful, peaceful place, getting fired up as a gas oven,
Yeah.
loving your animals and them loving you, and just really trying to be that solace, that safe place for others, being that bridge to help carry them safely across. And I admire you for all of those things. And I thank you so much for being here with me and my brains today on the edge, sharing your wisdom. Brains, get in contact with Amber. I mean, and let's all send her emails telling her to get that retreat together so we can party in Hamptons. I'm ready.
That's right.
I'm ready. Exactly. Just a beautiful place. If you come to San Diego, I'll treat you like a princess. Just come on down. Absolutely. Tell my brains how to get in contact with you, your contact information.
Yes, you can visit my website, which is www.amberkopcza. That's KOP as in Peter, C as in cat, Z as in zebra, .com. And if you go to click on the contact me link, put in your information and type in the word April or brains, and I'll shoot you out a special gift.
Well, look at that. She's a gift giver too. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Brains. Handle your business, okay? Now, you didn't pay to get up in here, so now you need to pay attention, all right? I need you to love, like, and share. Love, like, and share. One more time. Love, like, and share, because sharing is caring. We want to raise the numbers. We want to raise the frequency. We want to provide people with options and choices and let them know that they're not alone in their opinion, whether we agree or disagree. You can disagree and not be disagreeable. Let people know that you care. Their voice, don't be silenced, because you see what's going on. A little bit of silence and folks just run rogue. So speak loudly, clearly, firmly, but kindly. Thank you so much, Amber, for being here on the edge, baby girl. Come on back and see me, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Bye, brains. Have a good, peaceful day.